There was a time when you gave without holding back. Your heart was open, your energy was warm, and you wanted to see everyone around you happy. You believed that kindness was always the answer, that if you just loved harder, helped more, stayed longer, people would finally show you the same care you offered so freely. But slowly, you began to notice something. Not everyone who smiled at you came with good intentions. Not everyone who stayed in your life was meant to have access to your heart. Some people came only to take your time, your softness, your light. And each time you ignored the heaviness inside your chest, each time you said, "It's fine," when it wasn't, each time you stayed silent to keep the peace, you felt a small part of yourself fade. You didn't lose your sparkle. You were simply giving it away to people who never earned it. One day, your soul whispered the truth. You deserve the same care you give to others. It wasn't loud. It wasn't angry. It was a soft, loving reminder. The kind that feels like a hand gently holding your heart, saying, "Protect your light. It's sacred." From that moment, something inside you began to shift. You started to notice who drained you and who nourished you, who came to your life with sincerity and who came with only wanting. You began to feel the difference between comfort and attachment, between love and dependency, between being chosen and being used. It wasn't an easy journey. Setting boundaries never is, not for a heart like yours. Saying no felt uncomfortable at first. Creating distance felt cold. Walking away felt wrong, even when staying was hurting you. But slowly you learned that boundaries are not walls. They are bridges, guiding the right people closer and keeping the wrong ones from walking too deeply into your soul. You started protecting your time. You stopped over-explaining yourself. You stopped apologizing for needing space, rest, clarity. You stopped shrinking yourself just so others could feel bigger. And with every boundary you honored, you felt yourself returning. Your peace returned. Your joy returned. Your energy started to feel like yours again, not something you handed out to everyone who asked for it. You learned that loving someone doesn't mean giving them unlimited access to you. You can care and still choose distance. You can forgive without reopening the door. You can love someone and still love yourself more. And now, you choose differently. You choose people who respect the space you need, people who listen when you speak, people who treat your heart like something valuable, people who don't need you to break yourself in order to keep them. Your boundaries became a form of self-love, a way of telling the world, my energy is precious, my heart is sacred, my soul is not a place for everyone to enter. You didn't become colder, you became clearer. You didn't stop caring, you started caring for yourself too. You didn't build a cage, you built a sanctuary. And now, anyone who enters with respect, with honesty, with love, with intention. Because you finally understand. Protecting your boundaries protects your peace. And protecting your peace protects your soul. As your boundaries became clearer, something unexpected happened. The world around you began to change too. At first, some people didn't understand your new way of protecting your energy. They were used to the version of you who always said yes, who always made space, who always carried more than their share. Your growth challenged their comfort. Some reacted with silence, some with distance. Some tried to make you feel guilty for choosing yourself. But your soul stayed steady. Because this time, you were no longer shaping yourself to fit into places where you didn't belong. You were no longer bending to stay liked. You were standing to stay whole. And slowly, beautifully, the right people began to appear. They weren't threatened by your boundaries. They honored them. They didn't push when you said no. They respected your space. They didn't expect you to break yourself to keep them. They met you where you were, with presence, with care, with balance. You found conversations that felt nourishing instead of draining, connections that felt peaceful instead of heavy. People who didn't just take, they poured back into you too. For the first time in a long time, you felt safe to be yourself without overgiving to earn love. You felt safe to rest, safe to unplug, safe to say, not today, safe to choose you. Because now, your life had room for aligned connections, the ones your heart always deserved. And then came the next layer of growth, the realization that boundaries weren't only for protecting yourself from others, but also from your old habits of self-abandonment. There were moments when your inner voice whispered, "Are we really allowed to rest? Is it okay to disappoint someone? Do we still need to prove ourselves to feel worthy?" But you answered with grace. You started releasing the need to be everything for everyone. You learned that your presence is a gift, not a requirement. And love built on sacrifice is not love, it's survival. You began to choose environments that didn't require you to heal from them afterward. Rooms where your spirit could breathe. People who celebrated your boundaries instead of testing them. And with each choice, your world became softer, quieter, more intentional, more aligned. Your life was no longer a place where anyone could just enter and take. It became a garden, with a gate that only opens for those who come with care. A life where peace is not a moment you search for, but a home you live in. And the most beautiful part? You didn't lose yourself in this transformation. You found yourself. The version of you that was always meant to exist. The one who loves deeply without losing herself. The one who helps others without harming her own heart. The one who knows that her boundaries are not a limitation, but an invitation for healthier love. You are no longer afraid of walking away. You are no longer afraid of being misunderstood. You are no longer afraid of being alone. Because now, being with yourself feels safe, peaceful, complete. You didn't just protect your boundaries. You became the boundary, a living expression of self-respect, clarity, and love. As your inner world became calmer and your energy returned home to you, a new chapter opened. One that required not just holding boundaries, but expressing them. At first, the idea of speaking your truth out loud felt unfamiliar. You had spent so many years swallowing your needs to keep peace, softening your voice to avoid conflict, choosing silence to avoid being misunderstood. You feared that honesty might hurt others. But slowly, you discovered a more loving truth. Honesty, spoken with kindness, heals more than silence ever will. So you began practicing a new kind of communication, one rooted in calmness, clarity, and respect. Not to defend yourself, but to honor yourself. You learned that your voice didn't need to be loud to be powerful. It didn't need sharp edges. Firm could also be gentle. Clear could also be soft. Boundaries could be expressed with love. The first time you said, "I don't have the capacity for this today," your heart trembled. Not from fear, but from freedom. The first time you said, "I need space," you felt your nervous system exhale. The first time you said, "This doesn't feel good to me," you felt your soul stand tall, like a tree finally rooted in its truth. You realized something profound. If a boundary spoken with softness causes someone to pull away, They were only connected to the version of you that had none. But those meant for your journey leaned in with understanding. They didn't take offense. They didn't push or test your limits. They listened. They adjusted. They cared. Because healthy souls don't fear boundaries, they feel safe with them. With time, communicating your needs became natural rather than heavy. You stopped over-explaining yourself. You stopped apologizing for how you feel. You stopped shrinking your truth to protect someone else's comfort. Your conversations grew clearer, shorter, kinder, whole. You started speaking from your heart, not from anxiety, from self-respect, not defensiveness, from truth, not fear. And the most beautiful shift happened. Instead of saying yes just to avoid discomfort, you began saying yes only when your soul genuinely meant it. Your no became just as sacred as your yes. You no longer spoke to be liked. You spoke to be authentic. You no longer feared disappointing others, because abandoning yourself became a greater pain than any reaction could bring. And in this new stage of growth, you learned something life-changing. Boundaries are not meant to control others. They are meant to protect your inner peace. And when spoken with compassion, they become a bridge, allowing relationships to become more honest, more respectful, more real. Your voice is no longer a whisper inside your mind. It is a calm, steady presence in your life. A guiding light that says, I can be kind and still choose myself. I can love you and still say, enough. And the world around you now responds to this new version of you, not because you changed to be accepted, but because you accepted yourself first. You have become someone who communicates with clarity, with love, and with confidence. Your truth no longer shakes. Your voice no longer hides. Your boundaries no longer blur. You are rooted. You are whole. You are home within yourself. As time passed, something remarkable unfolded. You no longer needed to announce your boundaries because they began living inside your energy. Your transformation was no longer just visible in your choices or in your words. It radiated from your presence. There was a new stillness in you, a quiet confidence, a grounded knowing, a softness that did not bend, a strength that did not harden. People felt it before you even spoke. You walked into rooms with a calm energy that whispered, I know who I am. I know what I allow. I know what I carry, and what I refuse to carry again. Not with arrogance, not with walls, but with self-respect so pure it naturally shaped your interactions. Suddenly, the same patterns that once found you no longer did. The takers couldn't access you the way they used to. The manipulators didn't know where to hook into your heart. Those who came with hidden intentions felt exposed in your presence. It wasn't because you were guarded, but because your energy refused to lower itself to fit into old cycles. Your frequency had shifted. You didn't have to explain yourself anymore. People who approached you instinctively softened their tone, chose their words more carefully, behaved with more respect. Not because you demanded it, but because your energy made it the only option. Your no longer required justification. Your yes no longer came from guilt. You became a person who did not need to protect their boundaries aggressively. Your boundaries protected you. There was a clarity in your aura now, a silent message that said, I choose peace. I choose truth. I choose myself. And those who were aligned with that energy felt safe. Instantly. They felt seen, respected, met. With them, your presence felt like home, calm, open, and beautifully connected. But those who carried chaos, those who thrived on drama, those who sought access without intention, felt uncomfortable around you. Not because you rejected them, but because your soul no longer resonated with their frequency. You had become a mirror, and in that reflection, people could see their truth. The right ones rose to meet you. The wrong ones quietly stepped back. This was the moment you realized you no longer needed to protect your boundaries. Your boundaries had become part of your being. They lived in your posture, your silence, your smile, your energy. You weren't trying to be understood. You understood yourself. You weren't trying to keep people in your life. You trusted who stayed. You weren't fighting for respect. You embodied it. And when a soul stood in front of you, they immediately knew, this is someone I must treat with care. Not out of fear, but out of reverence, because your energy had become a sanctuary, a space of truth, softness, and strength. A space that only welcomes those who come with clarity, love, and respect. You had become the boundary, not the defense, but the standard. With your energetic boundaries rooted in your very being, life began to unfold in a way you once only dreamed of. You were no longer surviving relationships. You were experiencing them. Not from fear, not from wounds, not from longing, but from wholeness. This chapter of your life felt different, brighter, aligned, intentional. People who were drawn to you now came with honesty, warmth, and maturity. They weren't intimidated by your strength. They were inspired by it. They didn't crave your energy. They matched it. They didn't take from your light. They added to it. Your conversations became deeper, more soulful. Your connections felt safe, reciprocal, expansive. You found yourself surrounded by people who understood your pauses, who respected your time, who valued your presence. Not for what you could do for them, but for who you were. Your life became filled with yeses that felt good, and nos that felt empowering. You no longer questioned your worth. You no longer negotiated your value. You no longer diluted your standards to be chosen, because you finally chose yourself first. And when you chose yourself, life responded. Opportunities that aligned with your peace and purpose flowed in naturally. Rooms that once felt too big now felt like places you belonged. Love became gentle. Friendships became nourishing. Connections became sacred. You were no longer a seeker. You were a magnet. Because when you protect your boundaries, you protect your energy. When you protect your energy, you protect your frequency. And when your frequency rises, your entire life rises with it. You began attracting relationships that reflected the love you had cultivated within. People who communicated with clarity. People who apologized when they were wrong. People who didn't fear difficult conversations, because their goal was understanding, not ego. You saw the difference between attention and presence, between attraction and alignment, between people who liked you and people who were capable of loving you well. Your heart was finally met. Not halfway, fully. And in this new season, you felt a peaceful truth settle inside you. You were never too much. You were simply too deep for those who could not swim. You were never hard to love. You were simply loving the wrong people from a wounded place. Now you loved from a healed place, a conscious place, a place of self-respect. Your boundaries didn't limit your life, they elevated it. They filtered your world until only what was meant for your soul remained. This was self-mastery, not perfection, alignment, not control, inner peace, not isolation, divine connection. You had stepped into the highest version of yourself, and life rose to meet you there. You were no longer afraid of losing people. You trusted that what stayed was meant to stay, what left was meant to leave, and what arrived was aligned with your evolution. Your era of self-betrayal was over. Your era of self-respect had begun, and your life transformed because of it. You protected your boundaries, and they protected your destiny, for choosing to show up for your growth, your peace, and your heart. It takes courage to evolve. It takes strength to choose yourself. And you did that tonight. Before you go, take one last gentle breath. In through the nose and slowly out through the heart. Feel how different your energy is now compared to when you began. Feel the clarity, the calm, the self-respect. You have shifted. If this story touched something within you, if it brought softness, strength, or recognition to your soul, I invite you to continue your healing journey with me. There are more stories, more moments of reflection, more gentle guidance waiting for you, created with love, protection, and intention, just for you. Whenever you're ready, choose the next video that your heart feels drawn to. Let it support you, hold you, and meet you where you are. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for choosing to rise. With love, with warmth, and with deep respect for your journey. I hope to see you in the next video. Until the next time, beautiful soul.